Look at this, it's 10:30. Olga reminds me. So good morning, I am Reverend Misty-Dawn Shelly. My pronouns are she and her, and I serve as the other half of your interim co-ministry team. My colleague, the Reverend Abigail Stockman, is here much more often than I. Okay. And she may even be on Zoom, who knows? But this is her Sunday off, away. Here in this spiritual community, we invite you to come with all of who you are, your religious background, race, ethnicity, age, ability, and gender expression. We come together here on Sunday morning by Zoom and right here in the meeting house to support each other's spiritual exploration and honor the various paths our spiritual journeys take. Today, we are in luck because our service includes our siblings from the Unitarian Church of Marble Hudson. So welcome, we're glad that you're here. And we have the dynamic duo of Olga Rogash on the piano and Robin Jubinville on organ, and combined choral pieces and fabulous music. I didn't even have to write a sermon, really. I mean, we could just skip it later. It'll be fine. I have been excited for the music ever since I found out, and I got a little preview too because Olga sent me some videos, so I'm very excited. So following worship, a reminder you're invited into the parish hall, and a reminder for those who are facilitating the transitions team's cottage meetings that will be held. The facilitator training will be held in the Clara Barton room from noon until 2 o'clock, or whatever time I get there until whatever time we end, which will definitely be 2 o'clock. So with all of that, let us begin. Bring who you are as you enter our church this morning. Bring your best self and your struggling self. Bring your mistakes and your triumphs. Bring your shortcomings and your recommitment to good. Bring yourself here. Open your heart to beauty, to truth, to the door that is open to the presence of that creative and sustaining love at the heart of existence. Here in this church, we are trying to walk together on the peaceable way, trying to hammer out division and hatred and all that separates one from another. We try, and we will fall short, but held in love, we try and try again. We come together this morning as a religious community to bow our heads in prayer, to breathe in the stillness of silence, to raise our voices in song, and to remember our promises and vow to live by them once again. Will you join me in singing hymn number 131, Love Will Guide Us? Let us be seated. Oh, anybody want to light the chalice this morning? How about one of our siblings from Marlboro Hudson? Anybody? Anyone? Yes, you're ready. I can see you moving. Come on up. Look, and we have this fun little thing right here that you get to use. What's your name? Good name. Karen is the lucky winner today that gets to light our chalice. You're getting lots of affirmation, just so you know. So, and we're going to be in our words together. I am L, leader. I know that might not feel like it right now, and you are C, congregation. So love is the aspiration, the spirit that moves and inspires this faith we share. May the flame of this chalice honor and embody the power and the blessing of the love we need, the love we give, the love we are challenged always to remember and to share. Thank you very much, Karen, for lighting our chalice this morning. Okay. So our time for all ages this morning. Don't worry, Stephanie, I'm coming back. So I don't know if anyone here is actively participating in the Side with Love, 30 Days of Love. Anyone know about that? Anybody participating? I see a few nods. How about the Zoomers? Anyone? Anyone know what the Side with Love campaign is? Oh, yep, Linda and Pete. Good. So, for those of you who do not know, Side with Love is a public advocacy campaign sponsored by the Unitarian Universalist Association that seeks to harness love's power to stop oppression. And this year's 30 Days of Love is a gift to everyone who identifies as Unitarian Universalists and partners and collaborates with their neighbors, with their interfaith neighbors. It's a little bit of like a love letter and a time to be reflective on the ways that we individually and collectively practice our faith, bringing equity and justice into the world. And it's a great opportunity for me to remember how this Side with Love campaign honors how love is the root of our faith, a reminder from our Universalist forebears that love is the thing that holds us, that in all of our holy human perfection and all of our wretched human brokenness, because we're both, we cannot be separated from that. And in any of us and in all of us, love is the thing that holds us and lasts always. My colleague, Lisa Day, writes that this love that holds us,
it makes each of us a Valentine. Love's Valentine, God's Valentine, mystery's Valentine. If you listen very carefully, you'll hear a voice from both within and beyond saying something sweeter and more miraculous than, "Will you be my Valentine?" It is even now whispering, singing, calling, declaring as it has from the day you were born and will to the day you die, "You are my Valentine."
And so to celebrate this community as you are my Valentine, we are going to affirm that everyone is a Valentine through a little ritual of chocolate communion. Now, Zoomers, I told you in the newsletter, if you wanted chocolate to have it close by, it is now the time to have that close by. So you can go and get yourself some chocolate if you want. Our ushers will pass the dishes down. There is dark chocolate, there is milk chocolate, there is sugar-free chocolate. It is all wrapped individually. I ask that you keep it wrapped until I say so. The dark chocolate is the dark. The milk chocolate is the pink. The sugar-free is Hershey. Oh, the kids came down for the chocolate. Excellent. Did someone say some chocolate is happening tonight? How's it going, Zoomers? Do you have your chocolates? Oh, it's in the cup. I like it. Nice. Good. Great. And I think one of the kids got enough chocolate to share with Stephanie. Oh, yep, they made it. Good. Okay, does everyone, nope, not yet. It is also a choice. I mean, if you don't want to have any, that's also a choice. Virtual chocolates. Now, ushers, make sure you get some too. Okay, does everyone have one that wants one? Okay. Excellent, thank you, Andrew. I want you all to open it together. But don't eat it, just unwrap it. Oh, God, it's so hard. I want you to hold it in your hand. And I want you to smell it. Smell the aroma. Is your mouth watering?
All right, now, rather than put the whole thing in your mouth, just bite off a tiny, tiny bit. Let it sit on your tongue, don't chew it, and let it slowly dissolve in your mouth. I want you to notice the taste, notice the sweetness, and notice if it brings back any memories for you.
Do you need another little bite? I mean, they're not very big, right? How do you feel when you eat chocolate? Good, heavenly. It's exciting. It smells great in here. So when you're ready, go ahead and finish your chocolate any way you want. Nibble, stuff it in there. Maybe a little something in between. And as you complete sort of your chocolate communion, here is our blessing for you.
May the sweetness of chocolate remind you each and all of us are Valentines. Each and all of us are invited to side with love.
And when we wonder how to side with love, or forget to side with love, because we will, may we remember that we belong to love and to this community where that love, that universal, inclusive, radical, creative, chaotic love is the spirit of this church. May it be so for you. Thank you for your help. Did you get enough chocolate, Zoomers? Oh yeah, look at them. Right on. Good. Okay. We're going to have some more music. But first, I'm going to let you know that our offering for this month is we share the plate here. We share the offering plate. And it will be shared with Habitat for Humanity. And our Zoomers, you can also see how to donate online. And hey, if you're in the meeting house and you want to know how to donate online because maybe you forgot the check or the cash or something like that, you can always visit PayPal, and it's First Parish Northborough. Our morning offering will be gratefully received. I feel like this should happen on April Fool's. Like, oh, no, not yet. Don't get up yet. No, don't do it. A beloved ritual of connection is observed in many of our faith communities. That is the sharing of joys and concerns as a moment of worship. So I invite you to be comfortable, whatever that means for you. And I invite you to have soft eyes, whether that is closed or just lowered, or maybe you just want to keep your eyes open. That's okay too. I will offer 4 phrases, and you may repeat them to yourself in the stillness. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I ride the waves of my life. May I live in peace no matter what I'm given. May I be healthy. May I be happy. May I ride the waves of my life. May I live in peace no matter what I'm given. And call to mind your neighbors, your friends, someone you might imagine could use such a mantra, and send this energy towards them. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you ride the waves of your life. May you live in peace no matter what you're given. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you ride the waves of your life. May you live in peace no matter what you're given. And taking a final deep breath, remembering we are part of a beautiful and interconnected web. May we be healthy. May we be happy. May we ride the waves of our lives. May we live in peace no matter what we're given. May we be healthy. May we be happy. May we ride the waves of our life. May we live in peace no matter what we're given. And as we move from our time of stillness and kindness, of meditation, will you join me in singing hymn number 6? You might even just stay seated, enjoying and allowing the song to wash over you. Just as long as I have breath, I must answer yes to life. Though with pain I made my way, still with hope I Now, it's not printed in your order of worship, but I'm going to invite you to turn to, as Cynthia makes her way, to responsive reading number 610 in the back of your hymnal.
Title of our reading is The Journey of Love by Mohammed Iqbal. Where in our hearts is that burning of desire? It is true that we are made of dust, and the world is made of dust,
but the
but the dust has motes rising. Whence comes that drive us in?
We look to the starry sky, and love storms in our hearts.
Whence comes that storm?
The journey of love is very long journey.
But sometimes, with a sigh, you can cross that vast desert.
Search and search again without losing hope.
You may find sometime a treasure on your way.
My heart and my eyes are all devoted to the vision. And now our choir anthem will happen. I love it. Look at all of them. Humanity is waiting for something other than blind imitation, writes Martin Luther King Jr. We must be hammers shaping a new society rather than anvils molded by the old to give us a new kind of power. A power infused with love and justice that will change dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows and lift us from the fatigue of despair to the buoyancy of hope. Martin Luther King Jr. and his prophetic ministry was nurtured by his love of God and driven by a practice of nonviolent action to secure equality, justice, and compassion in human relationships. He did not steer away from the difficult conversations about power. And when I consider the idea of how we might measure life in love, measure our life in love, I am immediately drawn toward his understanding that power without love is reckless and abusive. He writes, "Power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love." So let's think about that first sentence. Power without love is reckless and abusive, and love without power is sentimental and anemic. Because I start there because that's where my own fear resides. And I fear that at times our Unitarian Universalist theologies, our experiences and beliefs in that which is divine in the world is easily and sometimes just dismissively referenced as love. Love, love, love. There's a love holding us. Make channels for the streams of love. Love will guide us. Now, the power of that statement only comes if we in fact acknowledge that there are times in our life when holding that power of connection, of shared silence, of shared experience, invites us into a collective power that is sacred and holy, infused by a creative energy powered by what is seen, the faces of our neighbor, and what we cannot see. I fear that we as Unitarian Universalists neglect the power that is created in religious community, given the amount of love that actually brews in various meeting houses on Sunday morning. And that there are times in congregational life when the relationship of power and love is neglected because we either lean too far toward the sentimental, chocolate communion, and sometimes we present more on the surface, so that anemic, sort of lacking depth, lacking nourishment, just whatever we're presenting today on the surface. And it is sometimes neglected because the previous patterns of power have felt reckless, even abusive. And as communities created, led, and nurtured by flawed human beings, it's a wonder our congregations survive this balance of power and love, because it is a balance. Power at its best is love implementing the demands of justice, and justice at its best is power, correcting everything that stands against love. Ah, yes. We side with love. We have demands of justice. The demands of justice and that universal, radical, creative love to correct everything that stands against love. I don't know about you, but that seems like a pretty high expectation to get to, especially as we emerge from pandemic ministry to this sort of multi-platform hybrid ministries finding their way by repairing and reviewing and renewing covenants and missions of congregational life. It's so easy, I find, it's only my opinion, remember, to dismiss the work of justice as only an out there thing, out in the community, siding with love in the face of anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, climate crisis, you name it. Police brutality, it's an out there thing. And yet, anyone remember maybe your parents reminded you that charity begins at home? Did you ever hear that saying? I did. That's a whole different sermon. But what I want to say is justice begins at home, right? It is not an only out there thing. It is an in here thing. The power of congregations to bring equity and inclusion with their promises of how to be in relationship with one another, how to lead together with called, certified, ordained, educated religious professionals, how to review income and expenses with a lens towards mission of church rather than simply but sometimes necessary survival of physical plant. Sorry, Dave. I know it means a lot. Physical plants. It means a lot. And yet, if we are to look with equity and inclusion, we have to take that budget and look at it with various lenses. This is also how I understand King's statement. Power at its best is love implementing demands of justice, and justice at its best is power correcting everything that stands against love. It may mean that we need the gentle reminders that each of us must be hammers shaping a new society rather than anvils molded by the old. And whether that hammering begins here within these walls as we work to recognize the power we have as liberal religious community to stand up and speak out about the lived reality that in America, power is actually unequally distributed. We work in congregations to be sure that power within congregations has the ability and balance to achieve its purpose, however congregations identify that purpose. Now, because I am also the minister of a federated church, sometimes, more often than not, I'm dabbling in the Bible and some scripture. So in Galatians chapter 5, verses 13, the Apostle Paul writes, "For you have been called to live in freedom, my siblings." Okay, he didn't write siblings. But don't use your freedom to satisfy your sinful nature. Instead, use your freedom to serve one another in love. Yep, I said it. Sin. Sin. And we're still standing. Excellent. One of our sins as Unitarian Universalists, this is, remember what I believe, sin as a practice of breaking covenant, of isolating, separating from each other. And I'm even going to say that, yes, there is a collective sin in that we often use our freedom for the search of truth and meaning, freedom of belief, to see the benefits, freedom that benefits us, self often. Sometimes we forget the whole. I think about taking that ritual of communion, that chocolate, honoring and inviting you to wait and unwrap together, to remember we belong, whether from this congregation or the congregation down the street. That we serve and we trust and we honor and we love. And sometimes in our longing to be free from dogma and creed, we can become isolated and forget that in fact church is not simply here to exist, to serve my personal needs or beliefs. Rather, church as a whole is serves a love that calls us to love. It claims us. Love claims us so that we might use its power to implement the demands of justice. And so that justice at its best, is power correcting everything that stands against love. Now, because I brought us into like a hard, conflicted place, I also wanted to remind you that in a movie, Forrest Gump says, Mama Gump always says life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. It is true, Andrew. And it is true of love as well. You never know what you're going to get. It is true of ministry on a Sunday morning. You never know what you're going to get. And the invitation into communion, into the collective, into standing and siding and rolling with love in these current times is to remind us how active love, that universal, eternal, chaotic, creative love, as a force in our lives. My colleague Lisa Friedman writes, love is a choice. Whether we are at the bedside of a loved one dying or at the side of a stranger we have only just met, the love which inspires the courage and commitment of such choices is not a sweet or sentimental kind of love. Rather, it is a love which recognizes the greater good and the bonds of kinship of which we are a part. And once we accept love as a choice, then we must also come to terms with where that choice leads us. This was the profound and radical insight of our Universalist forebears. If love comes from God, then there can be no exceptions. Love cannot be just for one or some of us. It is for any of us, and it must be for all of us. So friends, as our reading suggests, the journey of love is a very long journey. But sometimes with a sigh, you can cross that vast desert and search again without losing hope. You may find sometime a treasure on your way. So measure your life in love, whether it be with a box of chocolates on Tuesday, that's fine, or an act of compassion toward a neighbor, as we heard in our joys and sorrows today, or even right now in the pew with the person next to you. You are loved. May it be so. And now we're going to sing. Yes? Our final hymn, 299, Make Channels for the Stream of Love. You may rise in body and our spirit. Take from life its coals, not its ashes. Fan the flames of love and justice. Join in making channels for the streams of love, and there will be no limit to what we can achieve together.